Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be doing some team testing for Titan Reaver. So this event has just come live where you face two bosses back to back. But keep in mind that these are not going to be like endless type bosses. They're more like pre-endless in that they don't have really high defenses and they don't have high HP. So for example, if you do HP per second damage dealers, they just won't work out that well. Okay, so what I want to try first of all is going to be a more free-to-play friendly team. So if you have Reinier at Mythic Plus, I think this is going to be a good team to try for team number 1. Basically, we have triple damage dealers, we have healing from Smokey, and then we have Reinier debuff onto the boss. With the Verdant spell, which does well with, for example, Lily May penetration, she'll get, and Merrily will get attack speed. And then for the other team, Crystal Beetle, this is a team where Shakir does well because he can permanently remain in his ultimate. So if you have him at plus 10 exclusive equipment, this is going to do pretty well for you. And then Odie is going to be your major damage source. Thorn also deals a lot of damage by reflecting the Crystal Beetle's damage. And Mikola is here to provide attack buff for your team. Maybe Coco is not needed. Actually, probably it's better to replace Coco with Elsa if you have her built up. But I was thinking like maybe people won't have Elsa built. Like Elsa is not that common of a hero. And then I think you could run Coco here as well. Also, Coco, like the shielding basically prevents the knock-up or the stun of the boss for some reason. That's what people were saying. Anyway, let's try out team number 1 and see. So with these teams, no matter what team you're trying, you might have to try a couple of times to get good RNG. And it really changes things. Like, there is a best team right now using Faster and Taylene for Crystal Beetle. But I tried it a couple times on Old Grey Gamer's account. And I couldn't get a single good score onto it. But he got a high score with his first attempt of it. So it's kind of like there's going to be RNG involved. Okay, so this boss, you're trying to quickly clear the summons, and then just deal a lot of damage in between that. Another good artifact you could try rather than Verdant spell is the frontline spell. Maybe I should have actually tried that here. Because with this team, right, you're going to have enough allies making it into enemy territory to activate the frontline spell. You need 3 allies in enemy territory, and Lily May will count, Corin will count, and then Merrily, when she jumps up like that, should count in as being in enemy territory. But I guess you might have to wait a while until Merrily triggers it. But anyway, with Verdant spell, it is not bad either. If you can get 400 million on a boss, it's a pretty respectable score, and we do manage to do that. So that's really good. And keep in mind, this is just for like fun, because really you just have to get you only have to get 450 million to get all of the rewards. You don't need to get any crazy scores. But like, look at this positioning. This is really nice. Shakir is buffing up the entire team, and that means he's also getting more attack buff for himself and his allies. And Odie is just ramped up as much as possible on arena attack buff, Shakir's attack buff from Shakir's Mystic Charms as well, and Odie is just going to shred through the Crystal Beetle boss, and Thorn will periodically reflect the damage as well. So in this team, the Arcane spell is going to be the best because that provides penetration, and that is going to increase the damage that Odie deals, because Odie deals like damage that is normally reduced by defenses, so penetration will increase his damage. And then also you deal a lot of magical damage with this team, so you can keep proccing the active effect of Arcane spell. But if you replace Coco for Elsa, that's probably going to be better for you. But honestly, even Coco is doing really well, and Coco makes it more free-to-play friendly. Like, the only hero, I guess, which is not free-to-play friendly here is the Shakir. You would want to have him at the plus 10 exclusive equipment so that he can provide attack buff for your team, and you would want to get a Mystic Charms for a high score. But anyway, this is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this team. If we take a look at the damage chart, Lily May did a lot for the first team. Corin, I mean, the reason I put Corin here is also to try and clear the summons, and I think he did that pretty well, and Odie did a lot, and Thorin for the next team. Okay, so with that score, we are going to be highest damage for this round. Shouldn't it show me? It normally shows you a percentage, but it is not showing that to me right now. Anyway, maybe after we claim the rewards, it'll show it to me. Yeah. Okay, so we're at 99.15%, and this is of all global players, not just on your server or district. You're in the top 99% of all global players. So next up, what we're going to try is we're going to try what is considered to be one of the overall top teams. And you can try teams like this even if your Frestro or Talene are not built up. Anyway, Frestro is not important here because Frestro's damage is going to be low. Because like these bosses don't have high amount of health, so his HP per second damage will be low. But Talene is a bit important. You can try her even if you have one copy of her. She's going to be elevated to mythic level in this boss fight. And then in the first team you have frontline spell with OD, like you have your triple damage dealers. And yeah, we're going to try this. So this is considered to be one of the overall top teams available right now. If you don't have Harak. There is a Harak team for team number 1 using basically Mikola, Reinier, Kruger, and Harak and Mikola, I believe. Yeah. Mikola, Reinier, Kruger, Harak. And the final hero? Was it Lily May? I think maybe something like that. Anyway. Okay guys, now I've fielded what is considered to be one of the top team options out there right now. Frester and Talene on the second team. If you want to take a look at the formations, this is going to be like this. Team number 1, frontline spell, and team number 2, illusion in front of Talene, which seems strange, right? But it's kind of like, it's to protect the Talene from getting knocked up, but it doesn't always work. Like the second team seems to be kind of dependent on RNG for you to pull it off. The first team is good because like Reinier position swap Odie and Mikola run up and Rainstorm Ballet of Lily May. That's going to trigger the frontline spell. You just need to have 3 allies moving into enemy territory to activate it. But the thing with frontline spell, like it is going to increase the damage dealt by allies who are within the enemy's like basically within the enemy's side. And I guess Rainstorm Ballet of Lily May would trigger it, but Marilee's damage probably is not going to get the advantage of that buff because she doesn't enter the enemy's territory, but Odie is going to. Yeah, so far so good. The damage output seems pretty good. However, even the previous team we showed was really great, like getting the 400 million, and that is a good option for team number 1. This one hopefully will also be able to get 400 million. If you don't have Reinier at Mythic Plus, you can replace him with Thorin. Thorin also provides a debuff onto the boss, causing him to take more damage, and also he would trigger the frontline spell for your team. But then the problem is frontline spell, I think you should run Verdant spell unless you have like your OD in the front line. And you can only get OD into the front line with the Reinier swap. Okay, so this team is just... Also, apparently the shields can prevent you from getting stunned. And that's why Coco is used here. Now, Talene just needs to continuously cast. That's a really important thing to maximize your damage here. When she keeps getting knocked up, then your damage output drops significantly. And it just won't be enough. But people with this team have gotten like scores of over 600 million. But it comes down to RNG. Yeah, it's looking pretty good for us as well. I don't think... Yeah, Frestro can work even if he's not highly ascended. He's mainly here for the Crimson Contract. His damage alone is not going to be that high. It's all about the Talene. You can even try it if your Talene is 1 copy at Mythic level. Yeah. But if you don't have any copies of Talene, you'll have to try the previous team that I showed you. And this will be all up to RNG. Even if the people who have like... I've done even testing on All Great Gamer's account, Paragon 3 Talene, and he's gotten like lower scores than me. It's just based on RNG, right? So you're just gonna have to keep attempting until you get a good like setup. So 945 million is a really good score, and Talene ended up dealing a lot of damage in that fight. Okay, Frestro actually did a lot. So if you don't have Frestro ascended, you're gonna lose out on some damage. However, he's still gonna provide the Crimson Contract, whatever, the basically damage reduction onto the Talene, which kind of helps to protect her from being knocked up for whatever reason. Yeah. And Smokey's just here for the attack buff. His damage is low because the boss has low amount of health, so the HP per second damage of Smokey is low. So that's going to take us up to 99.57%. Okay, for the final team test, now I'm going to say, okay, you don't have Reinier, and you don't have Talene, you don't have Frestro. Now the thing is, if you have Shakir, you can still put together the good teams like we showed earlier. Now let's say you don't have Shakir at plus 10 exclusive equipment. Now things get really difficult. If we can't run Shakir, Shakir is a really good hero for these boss fights because of the buff that he's providing, especially in Crystal Beetle. So I would say one copy of Tailene. I would try to do one, and I think most people have one copy of Tailene by now, or one copy of Elsa. Basically, that can be one of your magical damage dealers. Your other one should be the Odie, because Odie will do well in Crystal Beetle. And I think you should run Coco in Crystal Beetle because that is going to give your shielding to prevent you from getting knocked up sometimes, apparently. And Smokey can be run in the other team. Smokey can be run in the other team, or Smokey can be run in this team, right? Yeah, actually we can run Smokey in this team to heal the Tailene more. And the thing is, we don't even care about, like, Smokey's damage onto the boss, so it's fine if we put Smokey in the back. He'll still be buffing up my team, and this is going to give the charm bonus to Tailene. And then finally, what would I run? What would I run as a final hero? Could be, oh, Thorin. Thorin is good. It provides a good debuff onto the boss. So we will try it like this. Okay, this is team number 1. For team, or team number 2. So team number 1, Mikola, yeah, definitely. Reinier would be great if you had him, but if you don't have Reinier, it's fine. We'll try to do without him. I think I would want to go for, like, debuffer, like Kruger. Kruger will provide physical debuff to increase Marilee's damage, and then I would go for, like, Corrin. Yeah, I think I would do a team like this. Where is Corrin? And we could go for the frontline spell, because then Corrin will get the value from it. Kruger, Mikola will easily trigger it, and Brainstorm Ballet of Lily May will be getting the value too. But you could go for Verdant spell here too. I think that would be fine. Okay, we're gonna try like this. Okay, wish us luck, guys. This is a no Reinier Mythic Plus team, and like even if you have the Tailene at Mythic, like not even Mythic Plus, I would try to run team setup like this because she's still gonna deal good damage. And probably better than like just running a Mythic Elsa compared to Mythic Tailene. Okay, unfortunately Marilee is not going to get the value of being on the enemy's territory for frontline spell, but the other heroes are. And I thought like, okay, if we're running Kruger, then definitely I think it makes sense to be running the Corrin and Marilee with him because they're both physical damage dealers. So far, not so bad. Like, I mean, even if we could get 300 million with this team, I would be pretty happy because this is not an amazing team. And it would set us up pretty well. Because in total, you need to get 450 million to get all of the rewards from this boss. Okay, 22 seconds left. Okay, yeah, we're going to break 300 million. But it'll also depend on, like, your investment of these heroes you have on your account. But definitely not bad. This is a pretty good team. Pretty happy with this, especially without Reinier at Mythic Plus. Okay, and then we'll have to take a look at the second team. Great, 335 million. Not bad at all. Okay, now the second team, if your Tailene is only like promoted to Mythic, then your score will be quite a lot lower than the score I'll get. Oh, we should have put Smokey off to the side. I made a mistake. I made a fatal error. Having Smokey in the middle position. I needed to have Smokey off to the side because he keeps getting knocked up by the Crystal Beetle attack. Okay guys, so for this positioning it is actually not good because the boss will keep knocking up Smokey and Coco in the middle. So it is better to have them off to the sides. So we're going to try a positioning which is like this. We could even have the Soul Pact on a Tailene. I don't think it really matters that much, but yeah, I guess I'm going to try it like this. So I will jump until we are in team 2. Alright guys, time to attack the Crystal Beetle. Let's take a look at this team and how it's going to do. Yeah, so Smokey and Coco are protected off on the sides. And that is going to allow them to continuously casting their abilities. Now, the Coco shielding should protect the Tailene from getting knocked up by the boss as well as the other heroes from getting knocked up. But when the shield disappears, then they are able to be knocked up again. If your Tailene is only at Mythic, for example, then your score will be lower, obviously, but I still think you can get a pretty decent score even with Mythic Tailene Because the Mythic Plus and Supreme Plus, it's just about the stats that she's gaining from the Ascension. She's not gaining any like really important abilities for increasing your damage. So it's just all about the attack stat you're getting. So even if you have her at Mythic, she's just going to have lower damage output, but still should be dealing decent amount. Okay, so 10 seconds left. Not bad. Honestly, this team is pretty good. I'm really impressed with it. Yeah, so with my Supreme Talene, we managed to get 464 million, combined with 335 million on the first team. That would be taking it up to around 800 million in total. So here's 7888 because I had to rerun the first team because we needed to change up the second formation. But basically, it would have been 800 million with this team, which is a pretty good option, and I think that would be the most free-to-play friendly. So anyway, guys, you can let me know about which, if any other teams work well for you. You can share them in the comment section because that can help other people out as well. But thanks for watching, guys. That's gonna be it for this video. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.